Thank you, Saturn, for all of that great coverage.
Yeah, we're in the future now. Welcome to E3 2024. That's how far away we are. We're joined with John Warner from BioWare, game director over there. We're going to talk about a tiny little itty-bitty indie game called Anthem, that kind of thing.
I love that your intro was, and we have an ambitious game over here, Anthem.
It's giant. It's huge. It's one of, if not the game everyone's talking about. Everyone wants to know as much information as possible, so we need you to tell us every secret there is to this game.
I need you to spoil the plot right here, right now, live.
Oh, you know someone's going to swing in from the side and, like, dart me.
Yeah, close the doors. We're getting this all figured out.
Get him off.
We have a ton of questions we'd love to ask you about the game, because it's obviously a game has a lot of buzz around it, a lot of people talking about it. It's gorgeous. Every time we get to see any new footage or trailers, stuff like that, it's just fantastic. My first question, and I think a lot of people wondering, is about the flying aspect of the game.
Yes.
How expansive is it? How much are we going to be using it? How much do I have to, you know, like gargoyle-like climb up a mountain to be able to fly or anything like that?
How much is gas? Are the gas prices rising? Do we have to keep those mechs topped off? Like, what are the mechanics of flying?
These are all excellent questions. I love it.
Yeah, we're serious gamers.
So I love it. Me too. So the great thing about flight in Anthem, it's when you have a suit of powered armor that allows you to fly, and you can just jump up into the air and fly. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Oh. And of course, every Javelin is like a class, and it's got progression tied to the suit and to the loot. So, yep, you'll start out, and your capacity for flight will be, you know, it'll be good, but you can make it better and better and better as you go through the game.
So will I be able to add enough progression or leveling to it so I can Neo-like just burst from the ground into the sky and everything just kind of waves around me? That's what I'm going to need you to add to the game if it's not there yet.
And I want to hover there and look amongst the people like they are ants, and I want them to feel my awesome power.
They feel your power.
Yes.
All right. Yeah,
you brought up the different javelins. I believe in the trailer so far we've seen there's 3 different kind of javelins. Correct me if I'm wrong with that. How expanding is that? How many choices are we going to be seeing with that?
So we'll have four javelins
at
launch, right? We've been primarily showing our first 3.
Gotcha.
The Ranger, which is kind of your all-around, well-balanced suit. It's got a good deal of agility. It's got a good deal of punch.
Gotcha.
The Colossus, which is a great tank. The Storm, which is a kind of a glass cannon. It's got elemental powers.
So it's the mage of the group.
Yeah, more or less,
gotcha.
Right? And then there's the Interceptor. And the Interceptor, we're kind of keeping that one close to the chest right now.
And we're going to be spilling all the secrets of the Interceptor right now. No, that's cool. That's cool.
That is cool. And speaking of all the different classes, I know that in the presentation it was said that you can pick different ones for your play style, but you'll need different javelins to complete different tasks. I know personally, the style of gaming, I pick a class and stick with it, like through and through.
Right.
Would that be suitable, or will I need to be a Colossus at some point?
Well, no, I think that it's really about player freedom and choice, right? Because we have this idea that you are a pilot, you're a freelancer pilot, and so you get to jump in and out of different javelins as you go through the game and collect them all. So it's really your choice and whatever you feel like. So if you're out just exploring the open world and you have that low profile, you might choose the Interceptor or the Storm. But it really depends on how you've loaded it out, because that's a choice too, lots of freedom there. So that even if we're both playing Colossus, my loadout as well as the way that I've personalized it, it's going to look completely different, it's going to play very different because it really suits my style.
I'm hearing I get to keep my poncho no matter what, so you're making me really happy right now.
There you go.
Can you give us some info on the co-op or play along, you know, play together kind of element of the game? How's that going to work out? Are people going to be jumping into games with each other? Is everyone just sharing the same world? How's that going to be going?
Yeah, you'll be jumping into games with each other. Every game is hosted on a dedicated server, so we're guaranteeing some great performance there. But only 4 people per server, because we want it to be a more intimate experience. So you can either just like start a mission and start playing, and people can jump in and join you, or you can invite your friends. And your friends, and you can get together and play like a session or for a whole evening. Or you can set it, if you want to, on story missions, you can set it to invite only and go out there and lone wolf it to your heart's content.
So
that's fantastic.
When it comes to people popping into your world and the kind of shared world collectiveness that you're talking about. When it comes to like the hub versus the open world, what are the specifications of that? What's the differences between those two? Is it just completely seamless open world, or are there little ports that you stop into?
It's primarily seamless. So let's talk about this idea of, Mark mentioned this at the EA Play Show, our world, my story.
Right.
So in Fort Tarsis, that's where you're going to have, that's a private space.
Okay.
So if you really like to geek out and talk to all the NPCs and dig around and find out all the world lore, no, there's no pressure there. You can just noodle and take your time. But on the other hand, if you just want to jump in, re-outfit your Javelin, get the next quest, and go right back out, totally cool as well. Once we're out in the open world, that's an experience that we all share. Every server is synced so that we all share the same time of day, we all share the same weather, we all share the same big events that happen. So we really have this feeling like we're sharing this experience, even if we're not playing together. So if we come into work the next day, we didn't group up, but we were both playing, we still have something cool in common to talk about.
So you can tell your friend, hey dude, I know you like the rain setting, it's raining, you might want to hop on and play Anthem right now.
Absolutely.
Because it's happening at the same time. That's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
I really like that.
Yay!
Talk to me about you guys' decision on how to, I mean, there's no PvP element to the game that's been announced yet, correct?
That is correct.
And I, for one, I love the single player or campaign style playthrough way better than any PvP. What was your decision between doing that, and is there going to be PvP added at any point down the line?
Well, we've certainly left the door open for it, but the primary reason we did it is just balancing the weapons. When you're making these really kind of cool, powerful weapons, you want the power curve to be able to get pretty crazy.
Gotcha.
And when you're balancing for PvP, you've really got, that's a difficult.
It does narrow your scope.
It does. So we decided that's not something that we wanted to do right off the bat. Let's focus on creating a really amazing experience that's PvE, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
No, go for it.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, another part of the game that I'm super excited about is the level of customization that you guys can do this stuff. Yes. It's a gorgeous looking game. The Javelins are amazing. We've already seen some of the changes that can be done. What's the scope of that people can expect from the game?
It's quite wide ranging, really. I mean, you can change, obviously, you know, stuff like paint jobs and decals and things like that. But it goes beyond that as well. You can actually add pieces to the suit that changes the geometry of the suit. So you get this cool, different outline, like in the trailer and the gameplay. You can see there's one Colossus that has kind of this cool, almost dive suit looking customization that's been placed on it, and then there's the kind of the classic look. So again, even if we're playing the same suit, you can really express yourself in your own style. It'll look very different.
As a huge BioWare fan, I love story. BioWare really delves into the story and creates these partnerships, these lasting friendships, these characters that you care about and want to talk to and learn more about in further expansions and hook up with. Also that. I wasn't going to get there, Ashley, but thank you. We all like our boning in our BioWare games. But can you give us a little, I know you don't want to delve into the entire story, but a little sneak peek of like what we can expect?
Well, absolutely. I think that telling great stories and having great characters is definitely a BioWare hallmark. And you're going to have a crew of close friends that you're going to be able to get to know. They're going to be there and help you, you know, in your troubles, and they're going to give you great quests and things to do.
Oh, yay.
You're going to get to know them and really, really enjoy their company. And I think that's really what makes an interesting experience, when you can take in something that, like, oh, I've got a quest and I just go pick it off of a quest board and I go off and do it. That's one thing. But when it's given to you by somebody that you feel like you already have a connection with, a character that you've kind of grown to know and love, that's kind of a special thing. It allows us to play with expanding our world story more and more.
Are they kind of going to be like loyalty quests? Are we going to see any of those? Like somebody asks you to do something for them because it'll further your friendship with them, or is that still a secret? Or...
Yeah, I think you're going to like what we have to offer there, for sure.
Oh, yay! I'm so excited.
Just a broad question about it in your own personal experience with Anthem. What part of the game are you hoping that, or you think people are going to be really surprised by when they experience it for the first time?
I think that, honestly, when the first time you pick up the controller and you just leap off into the air and start flying through the world, it's this exhilarating moment. And then when you can dive down these deep canyons and then right into the water and down in through the water and discover cool things down there, and then come back right up out of the water, back into flight, and it's all seamless and smooth and beautiful. it's really exhilarating. I haven't got tired of it. I've been playing this thing forever.
Yeah, I would imagine at this point. Do you have an idea of how big the world is that they're going to be? Like, is there a size that we can expect?
The dimensions, I mean, honestly, with a game like this, it's hard to measure it because it's also vertical as well as horizontal, right? So I would say it's a big world. I don't know the exact dimensions right now because we're still, you know, we're still working on it.
And I assume you guys will have like world events that everyone will be able to participate in, and those will be changing out through days and weeks and that kind of thing.
That's exactly right.
That's going to be fun. So it sounds like you guys are setting up the game to have a lot of replayability and new things being added constantly. And I, for one, like when games keep giving that kind of attention, and you can keep like, you know, play something to get like, oh, get this gun from this this quest, or get this new helmet from this quest.
Yeah.
So I assume that's Anthem in a nutshell.
Absolutely, there's a lot of that, and it's because it's a dynamic world. Because we're hosting all of the games, it means we can really put in some surprising things, some big things, and small things too. That will just keep the experience fresh. So every time you go around the corner, you won't see the same mob of enemies waiting for you to gun them down. It'll be different, it'll be fresh, depending on what time of day it is, depending when you go by. So it's always kind of surprising and interesting.
I think that's also what I'm really looking forward to, seeing the detail of the world design and the creature design. I can't wait to meet this world and delve into it and figure out what is going on, because like even the monster, that giant ball of something that we saw, obviously not well versed in the Anthem world quite yet, but it just looks so interesting. And so knowing what you guys do, knowing the work that you guys do, I know that this is going to be something that I can't wait to theorize about at 3 in the morning with my friends over game chat.
Fantastic. That's exactly what we love, and that's what we want our players to enjoy and experience. We've invested a lot of love into this, and hopefully you're going to love it too.
Yeah, and you guys are still working on this. It's set for a early 2019 release, correct?
Yes, February 22nd on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
Super excited about that.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It
Absolutely.
was a joy to get to talk about this game. I'm so jazzed about this coming out soon.
Thank you.
And did you see the way his eyes light up talking about his game? Like, you know it's going to be good.
This is the game I've been waiting to make my whole career.
Fantastic. Well, let's switch back to the people that are sitting 5 feet to my right.
Excuse you, John. Far back in the past.
Yeah.